So, Happy New Year and welcome along to a brand new series of The Big Show here on NVTV. Coming up on the show this week, we'll have live music from singer-songwriter Tiernan Heffron. We'll be going behind the scenes of a new play by Apollo Arts. It's called DNA, which opens in the Grand Opera House in February. We'll tell you more about that. And if you're a fan of Dolly Parton, stick around as well. No, Dolly's not on the show, but we have the next best thing. Dolly Parton tribute star Donna Stewart will be here. But starting things off, one of Northern Ireland's top comedians. He's back out on the road with his Our Jimmy show. It's our William Caulfield. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. I was all excited there. I thought I was going to get to meet Dolly again.
Well, if you hang around, you'll see her. She'll be on.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in that.
At the end of the show.
I think a tribute to Dolly Parton will do fabulous business.
I think so as well, yeah. So there we go. So you're the first guest of the new year on the big show.
Get me.
Get you, exactly. And you're back out on the road with the Our Jimmy show.
Yes, I have 5 shows of the 100 years of Our Jimmy, which started last year because that was to mark the centenary of the birth of James Young. There's some venues that I wasn't able to play last year because, again, I was busy. So we're doing them this year, and they are the Theatre at the Mill, Ranfurly Arts Centre in Dungannon, 2 nights in the Grand Opera House in Belfast, and then Portico in Portaferry, where I've never been before.
It's a lovely venue.
I've never been. I'm looking forward to it.
Lovely little venue. So tell us about the show, as well as the old classics. All the characters are there, but there's some new material added into it, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Well, there has to be new material. The original material has to be done as well, because I often say if you went to see an Elvis impersonator and he didn't sing Love Me Tender, you'd be saying that wasn't very good.
Yeah.
A Dolly tribute without 9 to 5 wouldn't be the same thing. So there have to be some of the original monologues and sketches that Jimmy did that are very, very beloved by all. But then I got to look at the characters and say, where would they be today? What would they be doing in 2019? And therefore, new stuff was written. There's a specific new one for Orange Lily. She's doing a book at bedtime called No Surrender in the Seven Dwarfs. Billy Hulk, the trade union man, he's in the shipyard, waxing lyrical about all things to do with Northern Ireland, and probably a reference to Brexit.
Right.
It'll be a small reference, but it'll still be a reference up to date Brexit, because we're all sick of listening to all that sort of stuff, but it has to be referenced. The Ballymena Man, a new sketch for him where he arrives to do with inland revenue tax, because after all, this is the time that a lot of people have to pay their tax. So he's a self-employed farmer, so it's very appropriate that he's in the tax office trying to get out of paying his tax. So those are all up to date sketches and monologues. So yeah, there's something old, something new, something borrowed, and nothing blue. I never thought of that till now, ladies and gentlemen. You see, that's me thinking on the hoof.
Now, why do you think those characters have lasted so long? Because people remember seeing them first time around, but also a new audience coming up to see your show are still enjoying these characters, seeing them for the first time.
Well, I think it's because the characters are still around. You've only to walk out of these studios, out onto the street, and inevitably you will meet 2 ladies of a certain age who are going into town to do their shopping. That's Lily O'Condreg and Emily Beattie. They still exist.
Yeah.
You've only to be driving home late at night and you'll see the ever-drunk Willie Simpson rolling home. He still exists. So all those characters still exist in some shape or form. Jimmy just exaggerated them, and I think that's the secret. Nobody needs to know the back history or the back catalogue of James Young or the Our Jimmy characters to enjoy the show, because it's a self-contained 16 or 18 sketches. I can't remember how many sketches there are over the course of 2 hours. And it's Ulster humour at its very best. So you don't need to know them to enjoy them.
And was it those characters and material that got you into comedy? Is that why you wanted to do it?
It was actually, because I entered comedy by a very roundabout way because of 3,000 people being killed in the Troubles in Northern Ireland, and I thought if James Young was alive today he would have written a monologue. I wrote a poignant monologue, and then I went on to write a comedy monologue, and my material was very much influenced by the Jimmy character, or the Derek character, who was the gossip. And if you remember, he was always, well, you hear in Arwy Street, well, here, didn't I walk out, and these children come towards me, and turned out like I was a little contract, no, old cat, and he told things have happened he was always the brunt of the gags.
Yes.
And so when I'm doing humour, my own humour, I'm always the brunt of the gag, so that nobody can be offended. These things happen to me.
Yes.
Not all of the things that I say happen to me. There'll be a semblance of truth in them, and then I exaggerate them. But I'm very much the gossip that Derek was. Although when I'm doing other nationalities, when I'm in Australia, New Zealand, China, Japan, and all where I'm going to, it'll not be done with a broad Belfast. It'll be a Northern Ireland accent, but it will be, these are the things that happen to me. So he's a huge influence on me, yeah.
So would Derek have been your favourite character that you do?
I like doing Derek because he's easy to do, and two of the characters that Jimmy didn't do on stage but only did on the TV shows are huge characters, and that is Orange Lil and Billy Hulk, the trade union man. And as soon as I walk out as Billy Hulk, there's a round of applause because they know here he comes. And he's unique with the glasses and the face like that there. Thank you very much for asking me a particular question at this particular time. But I couldn't say anything further apropos the matter in hand. But what I can state, and state categorically and without fear of contradiction, is watch this space. So he's good fun, but he really needs the glasses. And the suit, and he just stands there. And the sketch that we do, he is interviewed by another actor, because I have an actor and an actress with me to play the parts that Gene Lundy and Jack Hudson would have done on this particular show. And funny enough, Hulk and Orange Lily don't appear to the very end. There's the anticipation.
Yes.
Is she here? Is this coming? What's happened? And then out the two of them walk, and they just love it. So they're good to do.
Did you ever get the chance to meet James Young?
I did, funny enough. Now, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm old. 1972. It was Expo 72, I think it was, or Expo 7. I think it was Expo 72. And we were brought from school, and we were in watching a sheep shearing competition, which was why I always thought it was the Balmoral show, but it wasn't. I was told it was Expo 72. And then they said, ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. We have a 15-minute cabaret. Please welcome James Young. And I remember my mouth falling open because I knew all the material. I'd never met the man. I'd heard him and I'd visualised everything. And out this man walked, and he did three little routines. I think they were 5 minutes each. And I knew every word of it. And I was sitting, I'm going to give my age away, in 1972, I was 12 or thereabouts, and I was just sitting like this. Knew every word that he was saying. When he finished, us schoolboys all ran forward, as children do. Yeah. I shook his hand, I got his autograph. I haven't got the autograph, I don't know where that autograph was, but there was that moment where this 12-year-old boy was shaking hands with his hero. And little did either the two of them know. Jimmy certainly wouldn't have known, here's a wee fella, he's going to carry on my name and my characters, take ownership of all the stuff in years to come. Nor did I know that that's what was going to happen. So yes, I did meet him. I saw him live. I remember it well. I was sitting in this position and he was performing over there. I can see him yet, and he did one of the sad ones. I think it was actually the one that he did was, they've given me the notice. I must pack my sticks and go. It's part of the slum clearance, but it must be done anew. For a house is like a person, it gets run down and cowled. And all these things. It's all in my head, all the words. But I remember watching him do those things. So yeah, I did meet him. That's a long answer to a very short question.
That is, but a good answer as well.
That's the way I do these things. This will be edited down to 4 minutes. You'll not make one bit of sense of all the things I'm saying here.
Right, so you've got the Grand Opera House coming up.
Yes, Grand Opera House is on the 16th and 17th. I think that's a Wednesday and a Thursday. I'm really, really looking forward to getting back to the Grand Opera House, because last year we played the Ulster Hall. I wasn't able to do the Grand Opera, I couldn't get dates in it. And we decided to do 2 nights, and it's going really well. Ticket sales are going well, and the Opera House is a great venue. The Opera House is very intimate. They're right there. You know, even the ones at the back. It's a small theatre in length, but there's height to it. And I'm looking forward to the Opera House, and picking on the people in the boxes, of course, as Jimmy would have done. I think he only played it once. It was something he wanted to do, and there was difficulties in doing it, but he eventually played. He played the Grand Opera House. I'm not sure if he did it as a comic or as an actor. I could find that out, for I have all the information, not at my fingertips, but in a book, yeah.
So once you finish on this tour, you're heading to Australia?
Heading to join a ship. I fly to Mauritius, join a ship in Mauritius, sail down to Australia, then down into New Zealand, then Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, Japan, China, and then home, I think, for a couple of days, and then up to Alta, to Norway, up to Northern Lights. It's another
lucky person.
It's yeah, I know. I like to immediately say when people say lucky, I say, but it's work. But it's not hard work, and it's good to champion the Northern Ireland accent all around the world, and go on to some of the most fabulous theatres and stages in the world, which are on those floating palaces, which are the cruise ships.
So, William, thank you for joining us on the first programme in the new series. Have a great time at the Grand Opera House.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you there.
Now, staying with the Grand Opera House, and Apollo Arts are back in the Opera House in February with the Dennis Kelly play DNA, which is a jet black comedy. And earlier this week, I caught up with the cast behind the scenes at the rehearsals to find out more.
He's just saying, Joanne.
Are you on my side, Danny?
No, I'm just saying that he's just saying.
Shut up, Danny.
You shut up.
Don't tell Kathy to shut up, Danny. That's really not on it.
I'm not telling her.
She's on Richard's side. Are you, Danny? Are you on Richard's side?
No.
She is.
No, there's no sides here. This is fine.
I thought we were mates now.
We are. We're
So
all
if me and
mates.
Richard are mates now, which we are, and all that silliness is over, which it is, and you're on someone's side, Danny, that means you're on your own side, and if you're on your own side, then that's very well silly and dangerous, to be very honest.
Got it wrong. It's just I'm on your side.
Are you on my side then?
Yes, I'm on your side.
Which means you want?
I want to stay calm. I want to say nothing. Just like you.
DNA by Dennis Kelly was written in 2007 for the National Theatre Connections, and basically that's working with teenagers, bringing in new writers to work and write plays specifically for teenagers. So we're very passionate about that.
There's loads of themes in this play, so bullying is a really strong one. Peer pressure, the whole mob mentality of how a group of teenagers, even if you don't want to do something, you do it because your friends want to do it. And then lots of underlying violence and things like that.
The importance of doing plays like this and stuff, you know, for school children in particular, it is very important. Yeah, it's eye-opening. I can remember back in primary school, I used to get bullied and stuff for being overweight and whatever, but it's a very big issue. It always has been, hasn't it?
So what the hell are you on about, Kathy?
I was just saying that she...
You on my side now, Kathy? With Richard and Danny? Are you on our side, Kathy?
Yes.
Good. Lee?
Yes.
You're on my side?
Yes, Joanne.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm on your side.
That just leaves you, Brian, you crying little piece of filth.
I think we should tell someone.
Apollo Arts is a repertory theatre company. What we're doing is we're going back to the old style of training years and years ago, Laurence Olivier time, when there actually was no drama schools, and training people on the job. And it doesn't matter how old someone is, because obviously actors are from young right through to old, but we're particularly focused on sort of 14 to 18 and then adults. This play, DNA by Dennis Kelly, is very much, it's a teenager play, and it's very apt for today and what people will do to cover up something, especially with a pack mentality.
You're told from a young age, you know, you're not going to have your friends for the rest of your life. You're always going to fall in and out of friendships. And I suppose this is just a bigger scale version of that type of thing. Who is really with you through the thick and thin?
Someone chucked a stone at him. Not to hit him, just for a laugh. And you should have seen his face. So we're all chucking these stones into him. And they're getting nearer and nearer. And one hits his head. And he slips. And he falls into the... So he's
Dead.
definitely I can see definite parallels between my world and this world. Just within the dynamics between different characters and the little subplots and even the overarching plots, the themes and stuff. Like, it may not be exactly what everyone's dealing with, but they definitely have those kind of moments where they can kind of go, yeah, I've dealt with that.
Well, in my experience, it was phases. So I was kind of introvert, always stayed in the house, always watched the movies, played the video games. Then I was always out, like you say, stranded around street corners, wrong crowds, usual stuff going out. And then as you get older, you kind of wean yourself out of it. But unfortunately, there's still people my age and up that are still stuck in the middle dark section. And I think if anyone was to do something, is just be aware of it. Local youth groups, government schemes to help young people get to where they need to be.
The people that should come and see this play are teachers and their students, schools, youth groups, any young people, parents, and just anyone who loves the theatre, really, should come and see DNA.
And of course, you can catch DNA at the Grand Opera House from the 4th until the 8th of February. Time for some live music now, and we've been joined in the studio by singer-songwriter Tiernan Heffron.
Scares me that I need you so much right now. Don't fill my heart till you see your broken dreams, 'cause I'll drown if you're not with me. You know it's hard for me to accept how you feel. Tell me this is not real. Tell me this is not what you mean. Drowned in a sea of broken dreams. Tell me this is not what you mean. I need your touch and I need your love, but it's gone, 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 gone in a broken dream. Gone in a broken dream. He's gonna be there when I'm not around. He's gonna keep me safe and sound. I don't care if it's night or day. I don't care if I'm miles away. I will be, I will be, I will be, I will be there. Drowned in a sea of broken dreams. Tell me this is not what you mean. I need your touch and I need your love, but it's gone, 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 gone in a broken. I need your touch and I need your love. I need your touch and I need your love. I need your touch and I need your love. I need your touch and I need your love. I need your touch and I need your love. I need your touch and I need your love. I need your touch and I need your love, but it's gone, gone, gone.
So that's a track called Broken Dreams from Tiernan Heffron, who joins us now in the studio. Tiernan, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good to see you. So tell us the story behind Broken Dreams then.
Broken Dreams is a song about an experience that I went through, that it's just not everything's going to work out exactly how you planned, how you think it's going to be, and it's okay to just go with it. And I put it into a song over summer, and it's doing pretty good at the minute.
So it's not released yet, but I believe you're going to record this with an orchestra, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to be going to work with Northern Ireland's Youth Orchestra, with Ross Houston, Northern Ireland Musician of the Year, Young Musician of the Year. So I'm looking forward to that at the end of December.
So you'll be in good company, because Ross is amazing.
Yeah, Ross is brilliant. He's a fantastic lad.
Now, usually at this point I ask you about your background, how did you get started and all that, but I'm not, because the more important question is, what was it like going drinking with Rita Ora?
It was brilliant. It was good. She was She was very down to earth.
How do you meet Rita Ora? How did it all happen?
Yeah, I was playing at the same festival as her in September there in Jersey. It was called Jersey Weekender, and she was headlining it, and I wasn't headlining it, but I was just before her.
Yeah,
So
not
it's
everybody
very
can
good.
say they've worked with Rita Ora.
Yeah, my changing room was beside hers, so it had her name there and my name. And after her set, I was walking by and she was standing outside it, and I just, well, was, "Hi Rita, can I have a photo with you?" And she just started asking me about how my set went, how my gig went, and what I want to do. And I give her one of my CDs.
Yeah?
So yeah, she goes, is this your last one? And I says, yeah. She goes, oh, well, maybe you should keep it. And I was like, nah, you take it. So yeah, she got my
Brilliant.
CD.
So you've been touring all around the world basically over the summer. You were in Fuerteventura as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I went to Fuerteventura in start of June, and I done 3 months there singing in an Irish bar called McCarthy's, and I had the best time of my life. It was an amazing experience.
And at the minute you're also studying in Manchester, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm studying songwriting at a music college called BIM, and BIM stands for British Irish Modern Music.
Mhm.
So it's the same college as James Bay and George Ezra went to, and the Cooks. And so it's a nice place to be.
Brilliant. And you've had the chance to play in Manchester because there's a great music scene there, isn't there?
Yeah, Manchester's been brilliant. I've been getting Saturday night gigs in the city in an Irish bar actually again. And I've been playing all over at the minute, so it's going good, yeah.
So how did it all start from you? Did you come from a musical family?
Yeah, it all started, my dad's side of the family would have been very musical. My granda, it all really started, my granda would have been musical, my granda Sammy, and my aunt, which was his sister. So the youngest I can remember was about 4 or 5, and every time we had visitors in, he would have got me up on the mat to sing a song, and I always would have got up and sang. That's my earliest memory. And
What song did you used to sing? What was the party
well,
piece?
actually, I always sang one of my own songs.
Yeah?
I wrote a song called The Coloured Song when I was younger, and I always sang that song when I was only about 5. And there's a little photo in my back pocket that I always, anytime I have a big gig or something important to do in music or anything really, I bring my granddad's photo and put it in my back pocket. So that's where it started for me.
Brilliant. What about influences? Who are you listening to?
My influences are, I love Bruce Springsteen, Bryan Adams, a bit of Van Morrison.
Mhm.
I love John Martin from years ago. I also love, you had Nathan O'Regan on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Foy Vance, you know, all that. Yeah.
Good stuff. So when do we get our hands on the new album then? When's it coming out?
Yeah, well, I'm going to be releasing Broken Dreams as a single.
Okay.
With Other Girls Do, which I just sang. And the album, I'm always constantly working on the album. The album is, I'm always writing on my notes on my phone and voice notes and that. So the album will probably come out, I want to do it right, so it'll probably be out in about a year and a bit, but I want to do it right, so I'm going to not rush into it too much.
Okay, well, we look forward to that. If people want to get more information on you, how do they do that?
Yeah, I've got my own website. It's called www.tiernanheffron.com. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Google. Google me.
You're going to do one more song for us now, Other Girls Do. Is
Yeah,
this right? Tell us the
this
story
song's-
behind this one.
A few friends of mine were going through a rough time in the relationship, and I just listened to them and soaked it all in like a little sponge and put it into a song. So that's what Other Girls Do is about.
Great. Well, Tiernan, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So here we go with Other Girls Do. Here's Tiernan Heffron.
Heart feels sore and my head feels fried. I'm sick and tired pushing problems aside. Wake me from this mad dream, make everything okay. Unfortunately, this is real life, baby. Don't wanna hurt you cause I love you. Don't wanna leave you cause I need you. Honey, I don't hate you, I need you to love me the way that other girls do. Recently, baby, my loving true. Oh, I've been falling for other girls, that's the truth. And it kills me inside, I just wanna go hide. Run from this feeling that's taking over my life. Don't wanna hurt you cause I love you. Don't wanna leave you cause I need you. Honey, I don't hate you, need you to love me the way that other girls do. Other girls, they make me happy, and I'm not saying that you don't. I love you so much and I love our lives, so I don't wanna come home and fight all night. Don't wanna hurt you cause I love you, don't wanna leave you cause I need you. Honey, I don't hate you, need you to love me the way that other girls do. Honey, I don't hate you, need you to love me. Honey, I don't hate you, need you to love me. Honey, I don't hate you, need you to love me the way that other girls do. The way that other girls do. The way that other girls do.
So some great live tunes there from a singer-songwriter, Tiernan Heffron, somebody you're going to hear a lot more of in the near future. Now let's take a look at some of the big music events happening throughout Northern Ireland later on this year, and take a look back at some of the highlights of 2018. To help us do that, we've been down to Downtown Radio and Cool FM to meet up with Stuart Robinson.
Stuart, how are you?
Hi Robin, good to see you.
Good to see you. So Stuart, what gigs have you been to over the year and you've thought, wow, this is amazing?
I think the standout one for me has to be Ed Sheeran for a number of reasons, and I know you've got a daughter who's probably the same age as my wee girl. This was the first time ever, and this is when I got to tell anybody watching, this is when you know you're in trouble, when you start arriving at music concerts that your kids are at.
Exactly.
Because you know the next thing is you're going to be in a bar. Or a club, and you're gonna and your daughter's gonna be there, and then you just know it is time to go home, put the slippers on, and stop this carry on, Robin. So it stands out for a number of reasons. Firstly, bumping into your daughter at a music concert and her quickly disowning you is okay, but when you've got 40,000 other people there, you can kind of lose yourself. It was wet to start. It was a really wet night down at Boucher Road. We were broadcasting our show live from Boucher that night. To be able to take your radio show and be a part of those huge events is really important for us. We remember that. Listeners remember that. But then to see Ed Sheeran on the stage that night and how much audiences, whether it's kids, grandparents, making a family day out of it. I remember seeing picnic blankets out on the field and 3-4 generations of the same family there to see that music concert. That's very rare. It was a standout gig for me. And then he also, which we thought was very humbling, he referenced the first time he played Northern Ireland. And in fact, it was Cool FM that brought him here back in 7-8 years ago, potentially. We put on an outdoor concert called One Cool Weekend in Newcastle. And obviously it meant something for him, which I was quite taken by as well, which I didn't know. It meant something to him to get the chance, because up to that point he had been busking. He was the guy on street corners. And we give him that chance to stand up on a stage that he hadn't had to that point, and now look at him.
What about music highlights of the year? If you had to choose one song of 2018, what's been the big record for you?
It's a very good question. I think certainly if you look at the show that I do on a Saturday, the standout artist of the year has to be Ariana Grande. She's got the biggest song in the world at the moment with Thank You Next. She's just been a mainstay on Cool FM's playlists through the year as well. What I enjoy doing is, I like my American holidays. I always enjoy when I go out to the States.
And then have you been on this year?
6, right, okay. Some of them have been work though, I have to say. But I always enjoy listening to what the American stations play, and if I can bring back one song that's getting played out there but hasn't made it this far for whatever reason, maybe it's just not right for the UK radio market, or so the industry think. Maybe it hasn't been released here yet. Maybe it has and went unnoticed. I'll always try to bring back one song, at least one song from when I go away, to stick on our playlist so that it resonates with audiences. And it's something that people will only exclusively hear then through our station. We're playing a great song at the minute by a group called Lovely the Band, Broken. The other one as well that we're responsible for champion here, and although this was last summer, was the Cuckoo Move. Which again, only exclusively was something that we brought back from abroad, stuck on the air here, and exploded in a massive way with the Northern Ireland audience.
And you've been great this year as well at supporting local artists. So who's caught your eye? Who should we be looking out for now?
Yeah, we had Lee McFall just in last year. You know, she was runner-up in The Voice a few years ago. She's kept in touch with the station. But yeah, we now, again, using our social media channels, can highlight and put a lot of great local talent to our audiences. We've had Foxen lately in. They're a great wee band from Belfast. We love Sapphire as well. I'm sure you know the girls. We've had Second Nature in recently as well. A lot of little up-and-coming girl bands in Belfast as well. It's tough for these girls to get a break. It really is tough, you know, when you're playing the Northern Ireland circuit. And we like to do our part to help. And again, whilst it may not be right always for the radio up against the sort of the really produced pop and dance sound of the day, actually we have other ways now that we can help local musicians, local artists by you know, sampling what they do with our audience and see how the audience reacts to it. And then if we get some really great feedback, then we can explore it more. Like artists like Gavin James and Picture This, you know, who are now selling out massive arenas. We champion them here on Cool FM when no one else will take a punt on them. When there's demo CDs flying in, we will take that punt and support local singers, local musicians, Irish-based artists who are just looking for a radio station to take a punt. It is hard nowadays for radio airplay. So much centralisation, so much networking of radio as well. Trying to get a playlist on any station now is a lot tougher than it used to be years ago. Luckily, we still have the luxury here of being able to make those decisions and support up-and-coming singers, songwriters.
Great stuff. Well, Stuart, it's been a great year for you here at Cool in Downtown, so congratulations on the figures.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Now, the music superstar Dolly Parton is celebrating a birthday on the 19th of January, and you can celebrate her birthday as well alongside one of Northern Ireland's top tribute acts. She is the Northern Ireland Dolly Parton. It's Donna Stewart. How are you?
Not too bad.
So tell us about this big gig coming up, Crumlin Road Jail, 19th of January.
Actually, I'm a bit nervous about it because it's a new gig for me. I've got my whole band back together and we're doing acoustic sets and we're doing a few things. It's called Dolly's Jukebox because Dolly is the primary one, but then we've got some Chantal McAteer, Christopher Logan, all doing harmonies and all sorts of things. So it's a real mixed bag of, but all country stuff and sort of a bit poppy too. Okay, so it's the full experience, and of course when we see you on stage as well, it's the full Dolly experience, the wigs, the outfits, the nails, the makeup. Yes. How long does it take you to get into Dolly mode? Oh my word. I'm doing that show on the 19th. I'll start getting ready for that, starting to set stuff out and stuff by the 17th. Really well. So that's the truth. So a lot of the stuff's in one room and it gets set out in a certain way. There's wigs, then shoes, and you know your makeup and all that. My God, I go around each sort of section slowly and have, right, that's me. And once I've got the wig on, that's me sort of starting to feel a bit like Dolly and walking a bit different. And then as soon as I get the shoes on, that's it. The accent starts. Wow. It's good to see you back on the road with Dolly because the last couple of years haven't been easy, to say the least, have they? No, I got diagnosed with a brain aneurysm and then I got diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I have just about learned how to say it, and I've never heard of it. So there's a whole lot of different wee tiny things that are wrong with me, but it's all connected to the Ehlers-Danlos. So it is. So but you have to be feisty or else you're not. Yeah. So you've made this decision to make the big comeback. It must be difficult though still. Well, it is, but that's the way I've engineered the show to be a certain way. It's because it's other Anne McAteer and Laura Hannah and all, they sort of do their wee bits, which gives me time to sit, because obviously I've got degenerative disc disease in my back and osteoarthritis. So I can stand for certain amounts of time, but then I have to sit, and I really do. I mean, before I did the Europa one night a few Christmases ago, and I was in so much pain in front. Now the place was absolutely bunged. I was in so much pain in front of all of those people, and I thought, I'm just going to have to walk off the stage here. I'm going to have to. But of course I didn't, because obviously I've been doing shows all my life, and the show must go on and all that business. So I didn't, and I did forget the words to Jolene, because I wasn't even thinking of anything. I was thinking, I need to get off this stage, the pain. But so I got through it anyway, and then shortly after that I stopped everything, and now I've engineered the show in a way that I can get breaks.
So if you had to choose one as your favourite Dolly song, what would it be?
Can I choose two?
Choose two, yeah.
One of them is Better Get to Living, because the lyrics in it are really poignant. Yeah, they're Better Get to Living. If you listen to it, it's like giving you a little kick, just giving you just a wee bit of a nudge. You better get to living, forgiven, because all your healing starts with you. Basically what it is, it's telling you that you have to start within yourself, and you have to try, there's nobody else can do it for you, type of thing. And then the other one's pretty much the same, but it is Dolly Parton telling you off, I think, in her own way. It's called Try, and she says, you'll not amount to much if you don't try. And if you listen to that song, you'll get up and do something, because you'll think, God, I better give it a go then. So, life's too short. Life is far too short. And why on earth should anybody not give it all they've got?
Yeah.
Do you know? So that's those two songs, basically motivational. And when I was sick, and for a while I come off Facebook and all sorts of things. I didn't want to talk to anybody, didn't want to see anybody, and I just took myself away from people that I've known all my life. And I just thought to myself, nah, I'm not going to bother anymore. Just live my life in my own house and just do my own wee thing. But I thought, Dolly, that came on actually in the car one day, that song Try, and I thought, if that's not something talking to me from some sort of spiritual thing, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
So I thought, I've done shows from I was like 4 or 5, but I know how to put a show together. So I thought, out of everybody, I'm bound to know how to put a show together that it looks as if I'm not resting.
Yeah.
But I am.
Yes, yes.
So I basically wrote a sort of script with it, with all her sayings and stuff in it, and so that's what's going to be out for the first time in the Crumlin Road.
Brilliant.
Jail.
Brilliant. So right from an early age, did you know performing was something you were destined to do?
I just did it.
Yeah.
I was Mary in the school nativity, and I think I must have got some sort of bug from then, because then I did all the wee, scripture unions and choirs and everything else, and then I auditioned for Annie in the Lyric Theatre. So then I went on and did Michael Pointer's, a whole load of his shows, and then I did a National Diploma in Performing Arts, and I just kept doing wee bits and pieces, and then I ended up putting my own musical theatre company together, and that's where I ended up putting the Glee tribute out and putting Rocky Horror tribute out. But even then, before I knew I was sick, the Ehlers-Danlos must have been affecting me, because I thought I had ME. I was diagnosed I had ME, and it ended up that I don't have ME, I've got Ehlers-Danlos, but it was doing too much for me.
Yeah.
So I just brought it all back. I was vocal coaching at one point, working for my sister, and on the phones. I was childminding, and I was running Premier Musical Company with a cast of 48.
Oh wow.
And all of it just went, now looking back, I can tell that it was the Ehlers-Danlos, which is incredibly complicated. but if you read about it and you get to know a wee bit more and a wee bit more, and then as I've realised, I've got different things wrong with me, like I've a leak in my heart valve, I've cysts on different parts of me, like my stomach and stuff, and I had cysts on my neck and things. So all of those things together just add up to the Ehlers-Danlos loss, you know. So it's not good, but at the same time, wee Dolly gets me through it. God bless her.
So once you've done the Crumlin Road Jail show, what's the rest of the year got in store then?
Mailbridge Golf Club's the 1st of February. Strand Cinema is the 21st of March. I know we're doing Downpatrick Arts Centre at some point. Doing a few theatre gigs anyway.
So it's a busy year.
It will be a busy year. That's why I'm hoping that people like the show in Crumlin Road. Please like the show in the Crumlin Road. So, I mean, I like it. Yeah. So I'm hoping they like it.
Brilliant. So if they want to get tickets for that and they want to find out more about what you do, how do they do that?
Well, they can go on, just put in Facebook, if you just put in The Dolly Show NI, and you'll get me. And if you want to book any of the tickets for the Crumlin Road, just go onto the Crumlin Road website and then book it via that way.
Brilliant. Well, Donna, thank you for joining us on the new series of The Big Show. And the very best of luck with the show in the Crumlin Road Jail, 19th of January.
Oh, thanks, Ron.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for this week. We'll be back next week. And, of course, a big thank you to all my guests on the first episode of the new series. We'll see you next week.